The gentleman from Pennsylvania reserves.
Reserve.
And the gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. More than 800 Americans have come to testify before our committee. The minority leader should be notified before he leaves the chamber. Four of them have categorically refused and blown off the subpoenas of the U.S. House of Representatives. The minority leader attacks our committee as partisan and political, as some of his colleagues do. Well, we're a bipartisan committee with a Democratic chair and a Republican vice chair. But today, the minority leader gave the game away as he boiled over with rage towards our committee. He gave the game away. He's very upset that the former chair of the House Republican Conference has been telling the truth about Donald Trump's big lie, his incitement of violent insurrection, and the attack on American constitutional democracy. And that's why he is in the very embarrassing position of having supported, offered, and pressed for an independent 9/11 style commission about the January 6th attack. And as the minority leader, he asked for 5 Republicans and 5 Democrats. He asked for equal subpoena power on both sides, equal staff on both sides. And Chairman Thompson, who now chairs the January 6th Select Committee and chairs the Homeland Security Committee, he agreed to it. A lot of Democrats were upset about that. They said, we're in the majority, why should we agree to have everything 50-50 right down the middle? But he agreed. And the Democrats agreed because that's what the Republicans offered. Great. We were going to have a 9/11 style independent commission. And then you know what happened? You know who vetoed it? The fourth branch of government, Donald Trump, who some of their members slavishly report to, like sycophants. And Donald Trump said he didn't want any investigation into the attack on this body, the Congress of the United States. He didn't want any investigation at all. And you know what the minority leader did? He walked it back. They pulled the plug on the independent commission. And that's why we ended up with the January 6th Select Committee in the House of Representatives, which the Speaker has made sure is bipartisan and has operated, in my experience, Mr. Speaker, as the most bipartisan committee I've ever been on. Why? Because we don't spend an hour at the beginning of each meeting with a bunch of empty partisan gimmicks and stunts, the kind we just saw wasting the taxpayers' money and time. 20 minutes of that nonsense going nowhere. At the same time, that there's an actual hearing taking place in Canon 310 right now by the Committee on Homeland Security on the question of the border. But instead of attending the hearing, I counted at least 5 or 6 different members who were in that conga line. I'll be interested to know whether they're even going to go to the hearing afterwards. Instead, they come and participate in that empty, absurd ritual, wasting the time of this body. But the minority leader comes here and amazingly attacks our committee when he sabotaged his own idea. But this committee is closing in on the truth, and that's why we get all these circus antics and all the attempts to distract the American people. My friend from Pennsylvania, if I'd been dealt the hand that you've been dealt today, as a lawyer, as a member of Congress, I suppose I would have done everything in my power to distract the House of Representatives also from the business at hand. We have 2 people who are flagrantly, brazenly defying the authority of the House of Representatives of the United States in order to avoid coming here to tell the truth. They are acting in contempt of Congress, and we must hold them in contempt of Congress because of that. I reserve.